Hello, YouTube world. This is officially my first video. My name is Sean from New York, currently living in Virginia, and being a fan of YouTube for years and watching hundreds, if not thousands, of videos myself, and for years thinking about posting some of my own content, I finally decided to take the leap. And as it kind of says in my page overview, the About Me section, if you will, the whole point of this is to basically share my life stories, which are plentiful. And anyone that's out there, whether you're in Arizona, Germany, Poland, whatever, if there's someone out there that's going through a situation, struggling, and they do what I've done many a times and search that topic on YouTube and come across a video of someone else talking about it, and if this content helps them, gets them through a rough patch, or if nothing else, just makes them remember the fact that, you know what, I'm not alone. And there's someone else out there that's broken or that's going through this as well. And again, I'm not alone. That is the whole point of this in a nutshell. There is nothing scripted here. Again, this is my first video, literally just doing this freestyle, speaking from the heart, and we'll see what happens. So, the first topic, that I wanted to speak about is gambling and gambling addiction and the dangers of gambling. And I figured with this weekend being the Kentucky Derby, what better time to speak about gambling? I've been gambling and gambling pretty heavy for well over 15 years. Um, it basically started, my biggest weakness with gambling is betting the ponies. I love playing the horses. And it basically started with the Kentucky Derby 15 plus years ago. And a guy that I worked with was really into the ponies. He had given me a trifecta to play. I didn't even know what a trifecta was. And went to my local OTB. He had given me the horses and the numbers to play and exactly how to play it. I didn't even know how to put a trifecta in, a straight, a box, knew nothing about it. Literally went to the agent at the window and gave them this piece of paper and just said, hey, put this in for me. So go home with my tickets and watch the race, and I won. The numbers this guy gave me came in. They came in straight. And it didn't pay a lot. It paid maybe like $128. But on a dollar bet, dollar straight trifecta, I'm like, I just won like 128 bucks. Like I was on cloud nine. And at the time, didn't have a lot of money. I was younger. I was like, I'm like, this is great. And the first thing that hit me was I couldn't wait until Sunday to go cash and play again. And being from New York, I had all the New York tracks, Aqueduct, Belmont, Saratoga in the latest summer. And obviously at OTB, there's always tracks running anywhere. But the whole point is I couldn't wait to play again and make this happen again. Needless to say, I quickly found out it's not that easy to win or win often. And I think that's what gets a lot of people in trouble with gambling is oftentimes their first experience, or at least early on, they have a good one. They win. They hit that bet on a baseball game or they hit that trifecta. And it's that rush, right? Because that's a big part of this addiction. It's the rush and the thrill of the chase. And you win and your first your first reaction isn't to cash out and put the money in the bank or go buy something or take your girlfriend out to dinner. It's I want to do it again. So that was kind of the beginning for me, and over time it just got more and more, and months turned into years. And I mean, I went from maybe playing like $100, $200 on a Saturday, betting, let's say, Belmont, to before you know it, I was up to five, $600, then, $1,000. And I mean, I've had multiple weekends in the past 5 years where I've gone through two, 3 grand on a weekend. I mean, it literally got to the point where like I lived for the weekend. I would work a job Monday through Friday, and all I could think Monday morning was, I can't wait till Friday. I can't wait till Friday because that means Saturday is the ponies. Again, being in New York, there was always Aqueduct, Belmont, Saratoga. I lived not too far from an OTB, and and this was even before you could do it. I mean, now you could just put bets in on your phone through the various apps. So this is going back where you actually had to go somewhere to put your wagers in, an OTB, place of that nature. Um, but I lived for the weekends, and it didn't matter if I had a girlfriend or not, or what else I had going on in my life. I would literally arrange my weekends around gambling. Like Saturdays, I would get up early, do my errands, laundry, run to the supermarket, get breakfast, do whatever I had to do so I could be at the OTB when they opened. Get my voucher, go to the machines and start tapping those buttons and putting my bets in. And it was a weekend ritual, Saturday and Sunday. And I'm a big fan of exotics. I got really big into trifectors, superfectors, pick fours, pick fives, pick sixes, like trying to hit that big payday. Because I'm sure anyone watching this with a gambling addiction, it's like anything else, drugs, alcohol, you build a tolerance. Where at one point winning $1,000, you're on like cloud nine, you're celebrating, gets to the point where you win $1,000, you're like, it doesn't get you off anymore. You're always looking for that bigger rush. You need to win 3 or 4 grand now to get you off, or now you need to win 5 grand. It's a sick disease and a sick progression, which is really a downward spiral. So yeah, out of control. And the crazy thing is, I've had some massive wins. I actually one time won over $30,000. It was a random July weekend, and I hit the late pick five. I'm not sure if it was Belmont or Saratoga, but I had put a ticket together. And let me say this too, I've never been a guy to handicap, read the racing forum. I go by like playing numbers, going by names that have meaning to me. That's how I play the ponies. I just go with like that gut feeling, or a horse name that speaks to me, or like I said, my favorite numbers, or numbers that have meanings to me, dates that, my parents passed away, or things of that nature. That's how I played the ponies. And, yeah, like they say, every now and then a blind squirrel finds a nut, but when you play that way, and that's your method of handicapping, you're going to lose way more often than you win. Um, so with me, I had this weekend. I played a pick five ticket. It was a pick five ticket. Picked my horses, and I ended up hitting it, and it paid over $30,000. And I remember at that point in time thinking to myself, like, this really should be it. Like, I've already lost a stupid amount of money. Stupid amount of money. I really should consider being done. Hang on here one second. I gotta plug my laptop in. I think I'm running low on juice. Okay, I'm back. So I was gonna try to stop, but I didn't. And like I'm sure again, anyone with a gambling addiction can relate to, it was like, all right, I just won a lot of money. I mean, over $30,000 is a lot of money. I mean, that's life changing to most people. So of course it was like, all right, you know, I'll roll 1,000 on Sunday to celebrate my huge hit on Saturday. Didn't really win much on Sunday. Then of course, next weekend rolls around, and then it's like, all right, well, I'll play another 1,000. I'm still up huge. Folks, long story short, within like 3 or 4 months, I gave every penny of that 30 plus thousand right back. I could not stop. I haven't been able to stop. I admit it, I still play to this day. I'm really trying to curtail it and trim it down, but it's like those demons knock on the door. And it's that rush and it's that thrill. And that's the crazy thing, because even when you win, Again, there is no pulling it out, putting it in the bank, and walking away. When you win, all it does is go, I can play more. If you hit big during the day at Gulfstream or Santa Anita or Belmont, I'm sure again a lot of us could relate it. Hey man, what tracks are running tonight? Great. I can play the Trotters at night. I can play Meadowlands. I can play Yonkers. When you win, all that does is enable you to play more because all we want to do is to try to win again. Try to win again. And we've all been there too. When you're down and you're getting crushed, then you go into chase mode. You're chasing it. You're chasing it. You're chasing it. And it is just such a vicious cycle. And quite frankly, now that you can do it on your phone, I'm not going to plug or give any of these companies publicity, but again, you could literally place bets from your living room, your dining room table, the bathroom. And that's where my addiction with gambling really spiraled. When I no longer had to go to the OTB, when I was able to open up that account, that mobile app, and I could do it at home from my living room. I mean, there's times I'm so embarrassed of family events, sneaking off to the bathroom, making it look like I had to go number two. So I was in there for a while. But now I was getting bets in on my phone. Times hanging out with my girlfriend. Again, sneaking off to the bathroom. Got to get my bets in. It was like the most important thing. Regardless of what else was going on in my life, I had to get those bets in because there was always that fear that if today's going to be the day that those numbers I always play. If I don't play them, that's going to be the day that a superfecta comes in that pays $6,000, and I'm going to miss out on it. So it's like people that are addicted to the lottery and they have their numbers that they have to play every single day because there's that fear that if they miss that one day, that will be the day their numbers come in. And the fact that you can now gamble basically from your phone, this is going to be an epidemic. It's going to be out of control. I mean, you got companies now that are publicly traded and making boatloads of money off of people like me and you. And I'm telling you, 5, 10 years from now, you'll see. It's already beginning to happen. It's going to be all over the news. Like, gambling is going to become the next epidemic because it grabs people so quickly and it's going to ruin lives. It's almost ruined mine. And let me tell you, there is no worse feeling than waking up on a Monday morning and the first thing you could think of is, I can't believe I just lost almost $5,000 this weekend. And then you gotta, take a shower, get dressed, go to work, and act like nothing happened, and you're fine. But yet you just have knots in your stomach. You're just so angry at yourself. Borderline suicidal, because you just can't believe. It's like, I'm like, why don't I just take this money outside and light it on fire? It's not like I'm going out and buying a car or a big fancy TV or a motorcycle or something. At least that I would have something to show for it. This is literally just pissing your money away. Now, of course, on the flip side, there's been those weekends where I've hit huge and I go to bed and I'm on cloud nine. But the amount of times I've been on cloud nine and had huge winning weekends is maybe about like that. But this is about the amount of losses and weekends where I got crushed and weekends where I just wanted to put my head through a wall. Um, and sorry if I say a lot, but anywho, so my point here, folks, is if you're struggling with gambling, you're not alone, but you gotta try to get out of it. You have to try to get out of it. You have to, get help, get support, willpower, whatever, because there is no happy ending. I mean, being painfully honest, listen, for 20 years, I had a great job where I made a lot of money, and it's like I have nothing to show for it. And the sad reality is, I'm like, the 15 plus years that I was just going crazy with gambling, if I just put all that money into like a money market or some high interest yielding fund, I would have been a millionaire. Easily, easily. But I'm not. And I wasn't because I blew all that money gambling. So I mean, thankfully, I didn't let it get to the point where I lost everything. And I know some of you right now are being like, wow, I mean, it looks like you're sitting in a nice house. Your background looks pretty good. I'm in this house because my mother recently passed away this past September, and I decided to keep her house. Before this, I was living in a dilapidated apartment on Long Island. So again, you know, I would have a hell of a lot more money to my name in financial security had it not been for a very, very long and severe gambling addiction. So take it from me, folks. That huge rush of winning, it's not worth it. It's temporary. And know that you're not really winning. Because you're going to give it back. And these gambling companies know that too. They know that if you win 5, 6 grand one weekend, that it's just a matter of time until you give every penny back and then some. So be careful. Be very careful. And especially people that might have addictive personalities or tendencies to begin with, gambling will grab you hook, line, and sinker. And again, that horrible feeling of going to bed and waking up in the morning, and all you can think about is how much money you lost. You have nightmares about it. It is no way to live, it's no way to function. And again, I'm really nervous about, again, now, I mean, never mind the ponies. I mean, sports, baseball, football, hockey, basketball. I mean, you got young kids now, 18, 19-year-olds that I guess are considered adults. They're not adults. And they're hopping on their phones and they're betting and they're gambling. I mean, it's like back in the day. I mean, if you wanted to bet the Giants or something, or a baseball game, or a soccer game, or a hockey game, like you had to know someone. You had to like go through a bookie. You don't have to do that anymore. It's legal to do it. All you need is a smartphone. You just hop on your phone and you can put bets in. And again, it's already becoming extremely problematic. But mark my words, 5, 10 years from now, it's going to be horrific, and it's going to ruin a lot of people's lives, and it's going to take everything away. So the whole point of this video is to warn you, be very careful. Quite frankly, don't even get involved. If you're just starting to gambling, if you've just gotten into gambling, tap out, get out. Get out while you can. Because at the end of the day, no one, no one that gambles for a long period of time at the end could go, yeah, I came out ahead. I came out ahead. I mean, there's been years where I've had to do my taxes and I've had to report some huge winnings. And I look at what I've wagered versus what I won, and it's enough to make you throw up. It's like, okay, yeah, I won $80,000 this past year, but it cost me 200,000 plus to get there. So it's like, even though I won $80,000, it doesn't matter. I blew away over 200,000. It's insanity. So again, folks, be very careful. It really effed me up, and it could very easily F you up too. So that is my first post. The dangers of gambling, the addiction of gambling. It got me. Again, I still struggle. I mean, I admit it. Kentucky Derby is this weekend. I already put a couple of bets in. I played a whole bunch of straight super high fives, which you could do at Churchill. Like $200 I spent, that's it. So that's what I mean. I'm still struggling with it. I'm not sitting here being like, I'm cured. I quit. I haven't gambled in, 3 years. No, this is how bad of an addiction is. I'm smart enough to know this is a horrible addiction, a horrible disease. Yet I still partake in it. Thankfully, though, not to the extent that I used to. But I know that at any moment, I could fall right back into that. So this is what I mean. And I'm hoping that by posting this, and hopefully if I get some positive feedback or whatever else, that could help and encourage me as well to finally stop it. Close out my account on my phone. Even if I got to call my bank and say, you know what, forbid me to slide money into this account because I have a massive problem. Whatever I got to do, because all I know is I'm smart enough to know that if I keep gambling, In 5, 10 years, I'll probably be broke. I'll no longer be in this house. That's how bad it is. And that's the craziness. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that feel the same way. They know what they're doing is wrong. They know they're just burning their money away, but they cannot stop. They can't stop. So again, you're not alone. You're not alone. So let's try to do this together. Let's try to beat it. Gambling is horrible. Yes, it could be a lot of fun when you win. But again, all that's allowing you to do, if again, you win on a Saturday, most people, that allows you to play Saturday night, Sunday, or next weekend or next month. It's just a matter of time before you give it all back. I don't know anyone that's been like, oh yeah, I won $5,000 on a baseball game or on the ponies, and I put it in the bank and never gambled again. I don't know anyone that has done that. It doesn't work like that. Maybe one or two people, but no. So, anyway, hope you guys got some out of this. And peace, love, and happiness. And I will see you guys sooner or later with a whole nother topic. Peace out.